Hey cats and kits, Captain Zorik here, and it's another early morning edition, very super early morning edition of Vacant New York, because behind me is Vacant New York. I'm coming home from my night job here, and here's what the thing is. It's this baby blue. It's not exactly a manly macho color, and that's why I was going for that bold red, but turns out that red mask was more trouble than it was worth. But in any event, so hey Georgia, good morning. You're here, you're up early. I'm in another neighborhood that I've been around a lot, and there's absolutely no one around me, so I'm gonna just take this off for a few moments. This neighborhood, I've been around this neighborhood a lot, and I've seen some changes and some things that have stayed the same, and one change is how empty it is today. Look at that parking lot. There's just one car in the corner, and behind me is, yep folks, that is the classic New York City 24-hour, 365-day-a-year post office that is being turned into the new Penn Station. So we are going to move into civilization, so we're going to cover up here, and you may have noticed, so what I am actually on 31st Street and 8th Avenue, which means, of course, there is the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, sometimes known as Madison Round Garden. Not actually on Madison Square, which is down on 23rd Street and 5th Avenue, but it's where the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers play, and also lesser-known, shorter-lived teams such as the New York Express, New York Express, New York Knights, New York City Hawks. Let's see, what other teams can I think of that played at Madison Square Garden that don't play there anymore? Well, the Liberty, but at least they still exist. Oh yeah, and then I think the New York Stars was the Women's Basketball Association team located here. Now I wanted to show you this because this here neighborhood, okay, got a red light. Okay, so has got this kind of a weary sort of post-industrial feeling here. Note these restaurants and other businesses that are obviously open on weekdays for lunchtime and after work, but not today, not this morning, because it's too early and it's shutdown time. And so that's 8th Avenue behind me. That's why I'm standing here with right in the middle of the street with complete impunity. And there it is in the other direction, over the hill. So now there's a Blarney Stone. There was a Blarney Stone on another block, and I'm not sure. Blarney Stone is a name of, I don't think it's a chain of restaurants. I think it's just a name that is shared by a bunch of independent bars that are famous for their steam tables with affordable lunches and dinners. And are like the quintessential Irish bar with food here in this town. And so I'm wondering if the old one moved over here, or if this one has always been there. That sign looks kind of antique, but it's quite possible that there could have been two of them this close together. In any event, we're going to now walk up the block a little bit. I'm going across 31st Street here, past the entrance to Madison Square Garden. And I'm going to flip the phone to the other side of my face so you can see that classic Greco revival, whatever, classical revival styled Parthenon of postage. And let's all read it together. Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds. Yeah, now there have been news items out there that the post office is running out of money, and that it's got something to do with how they have to fund their pension plan for the next 75 years. Now, I ain't saying it's a bad thing to have enough money for your pension plan in advance, but apparently that's putting them in all kinds of debt, and news items have come out saying that Donald Trump thinks that they ought to charge Amazon more for delivering their packages, and people are concerned that they want that the post office is going to close down and be privatized. So instead of being a federal institution and having to serve under federal regulations with federal monitors and whatever else that means, that they'll be independent, and the Fed may have to work against them if they don't follow federal guidelines and stuff. Anyway, look, and this here neighborhood being where Penn Station is, and with a lot of open flat space and people coming into and going out of town, also attracts people. Well, let's just put it this way: please don't litter. People have to sleep here. So now there is a brand new entrance, in fact, to the Long Island Railroad I've not seen before, right there in the corner of the post office. Fascinating. So now, for those of you who don't know, Madison Round Garden here is in the space of the original Penn Station, which was this great, grand, and glorious train station, sort of like the one that you see in the movie The Untouchables. That had that scene with the baby carriage falling down the stairs that referenced Battleship Potemkin. By the way, the movie Brazil also had a cart rolling down the stairs that represents that referenced Battleship Potemkin. But anyway, yeah. So, but that building got torn down, and while there was talk of preserving some of the you can find pictures of the stone eagles broken up in landfills in New Jersey that later became Giant Stadium and the Meadowlands Sports Complex. In any event, now if you were to walk that way, you would, and look to your right, you'd eventually get to Javits Center, which hosts New York Comic Con and a bunch of other convention shows. And if you were to look to your left, you would see where the Copacabana used to be. The Copacabana in that location was closed down due to the construction of the extension of the number 7 train and moved somewhere else, and I heard that it's just finally shut down for good, end of an era kind of a thing. At the Copacabana, music and passion were always in fashion at the Copa. It's there no more. Whatever. Anywho, so now we're walking up 32nd Street. Now, thing about 32nd Street, well, it's mostly been shut off to cars, or parts of it have been shut off to cars during weekdays and stuff, and it looks like it really is right now. Hang on, let me readjust my hat. There's some kind of, looks like a temporary structure. By the way, while we're walking through here, let me just say hello to who's here. Georgia, Jerry, good to see you here. Good morning. Teresa, hey, Barrier in the house. Louisa and Charles. Thank you for joining me here for today's edition of Captain Zork's walk through Vacant New York during our coronavirus shutdown. Yes, people have been seeping out of the cracks and going to open spaces more and more these days. The numbers have been going down, not all the numbers, but a lot of them, and it's very encouraging. The mayor keeps on saying, we got to see, there's like 4 different numbers: deaths, hospitalizations, ICUs, and positive test results, and we got to see all 4 of them go down for 14 days before we can fully open, and we're not quite there yet. Okay, so now here's an interesting story here. You can see there's Madison Round Garden, and there's this like bridge that then goes to this office building. And when you go to enter Madison Square Garden, you got to enter in the front of that office building, go through this tunnel, and then you get into the arena itself. There's a big plaza in the front there that's great for cosplay photo shoots. Back when the Big Apple Comic Con was at the Hotel New Yorker right across the way. Now, give me a moment here. No, not Hotel New Yorker, sorry, the Penn Plaza Hotel, formerly known as the Hotel Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Hotel Pennsylvania is not the song that was written about it. And I'll get back to that as soon as we see Oh, the walls for this Kmart have been painted over. Is this temporary, or has Kmart actually shut down? Because that looks pretty permanent. I haven't been paying attention. There's Lenwich, the famous bagel shop. I always get confused between Lenwich Bagels and Lenny's Clam Bar. I just saw Lenny's Clam Bar out in Brooklyn the other day. All right, so obviously there's construction here. Fortunately, I'm tall enough you can get a look over the wall there. And now this is going to be a pretty amazing sight. Okay, so you see here, of course, these big Jumbotron style displays. Now, let's see, you got a Sbarro, a gift shop, retail space for rent, New York City Gifts, a stylish McDonald's, a stylish deli, and a clothing store over there. Used to be, all those stores were a little bit more blue-collar, common man, affordably priced delis and stuff like that, and gift shops, but I guess they're trying to clean up the place. Now, I don't know what that big structure they're building out in front. That is the entrance to Madison Square Garden right there, folks. You don't, when you're going into the arena to see a show or a game, you don't go into the round part itself. Like I said, you enter the office building in front of it. And that is also an entrance to Penn Station, which is no longer, as I said, the great and glorious cathedral to travel that it used to be. And this is a brand new thing, and I have no idea what it is, what it's for, or what it's supposed to be. And over there is the famous Hotel Pennsylvania. I first became aware of it when it was known as the Penta Hotel back in the 1980s, when Creation Convention held its larger conventions there. Science fiction, fantasy, horror. That was when the Star Trek movies were in the 2s, 3s, and 4s, and Doctor Who became really big in America. And let's see, the X-Men had just gone through the Dark Phoenix saga, which really, during the Chris Claremont and John Byrne era, which really pushed them over the edge in popularity and made them the hottest big thing, and which is probably part of the reason they were the first of the modern Marvel Comics straightforward superhero movies. I know Blade came before X-Men, but Blade's sort of a dark gothic horror action adventure character as opposed to a straightforward superhero. So now the Big Apple Comic Con is New York's longest running convention, having started in, I want to say, 1995, when I think it was a Fred Greenberg convention was going to be at the, was going to be at the Jacob Javits Center, but on the Wednesday before the Saturday, according to legend told to me by Michael Carbonaro, who was there, determined on Wednesday that it wasn't going to happen. Reasons. And so he canceled it. So Mike and a friend of his got into a taxi cab with a phone book, this being 1995, and at the end of the day they had found the Cathedral of St. Paul the Apostle on West 59th Street, and they called up all the dealers and celebrities and fans and everybody else that they had a phone number for, told them to spread the word, and on Saturday morning they opened the doors, and hallelujah, the people came streaming in, and that was the first Big Apple Comic Con. Over the years it's been in a couple of places, but this place here, the corner of the Hotel Pennsylvania, hang on a second, I'm running low on gas here. There. Okay, well, for some reason it's got a sign on it that says Silvercast now, but up until just now apparently it was the Penn Plaza Pavilion, and before that it was a Sports Authority sporting goods store. So, let's see, bring them on camera. Who's on camera? Oh, I see. All right, it was a sporting goods store, which is why it doesn't really have the shape of a convention center, and also explains why the cooling system's kind of weird in that they're It can be freezing outside, but you can be sitting in a spot where you're